Have you noticed your legs feeling weaker with each passing year, despite your efforts to stay active and eat well? You're not alone. Many older adults assume that all fruits are healthy. After all, they come from nature, right? But here's something most people never hear. Certain fruits can actually work against your health as you age. In fact, for those over 60, some fruits may be quietly eroding your leg strength, increasing inflammation, discomfort, and even making it harder to move around. The connection between diet and leg health is stronger than most realize. The muscles, joints, nerves, and circulation in your legs are all directly influenced by what you eat. And if the wrong fruits make their way into your routine, they can slowly chip away at your mobility, leading to weakness, pain, and dependence. That's why it's important to shine a light on the 7 fruits older adults should reconsider and understand exactly how they can harm your leg health. Before we get into the list, if you haven't already, take a moment to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss out on future health insights designed with you in mind. And if this video is speaking to you so far, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 to help me improve. 1. Pineapple, a hidden source of leg trouble. Pineapple is often praised as a superfruit, largely due to bromelain, an enzyme that's said to reduce inflammation and support digestion. But for seniors, this tropical fruit may be more harmful than helpful, especially when eaten regularly. Beneath its sweet taste lies a troubling truth. As the body ages, it becomes more sensitive to sugars and acidic foods, 2 things pineapple has in abundance. Consuming it frequently can spike blood sugar and strain small blood vessels, especially those responsible for nourishing your legs. These vessels are key to keeping your calves strong, your knees agile, and your feet steady. This isn't a matter of counting calories. It's about how sugar and acid quietly stir up inflammation in aging bodies. What may begin as mild soreness in the thighs or a nagging pain in the knees can gradually grow worse. For many seniors, pineapple can slowly create a state of chronic inflammation, especially if there's already a history of joint pain, arthritis, or circulation issues. Swollen ankles, heaviness in the legs, and increased fatigue during simple activities can all result from this fruit's effects. These aren't just signs of getting older, they're signs your body may be reacting negatively to something in your diet. What's more, bromelain can interfere with medications commonly used by older adults, including blood thinners. This can lead to unexpected bruising, increased inflammation, or muscle weakness, all while you think you're making a healthy choice. So, next time you're about to enjoy a slice of pineapple, it's worth asking, is this doing your body good or quietly working against it? And pineapple is just the start. What if one of the most trusted fruits for energy and muscle support was actually stealing your strength, one bite at a time? Let's take a closer look at bananas. If you're still with me and this has been helpful so far, drop a 1 in the comments below. Now let's move on to number 2. 2. Bananas, the muscle imposter. For decades, bananas have been praised as the go-to fruit for muscle support, especially because of their potassium content. Many seniors trust them as a daily staple, a soft, easy-to-digest snack that seems perfect for aging bodies. But what if I told you that this familiar yellow fruit might actually be undermining the very strength you're trying to protect? As we grow older, the body's ability to process sugar and starch changes. Bananas, particularly ripe ones, are high in natural sugars and quick-burning carbohydrates, which convert rapidly to glucose. When that sugar hits your bloodstream, it doesn't just raise energy, it triggers insulin spikes. Over time, this contributes to insulin resistance, weight gain around the legs and belly, and, worst of all, weakened circulation to your lower limbs. That means less oxygen and fewer nutrients reach your leg muscles, making them fatigue faster, recover slower, and grow weaker with each passing week. You might notice your legs feel heavy, especially after meals. You may experience tightness in your calves or a strange ache when climbing stairs. It's subtle at first, but it builds, especially if bananas are part of your daily routine. And unlike in youth, your senior body doesn't bounce back overnight. With age, even healthy-looking choices like bananas can become silent saboteurs. What's even more alarming is how bananas can increase water retention in some seniors, especially those with heart conditions. That fluid settles in the ankles and feet, creating swelling that makes movement painful and balance more difficult. You're not just tired, you're weighed down. We've all been told that bananas give us strength, but maybe it's time to ask, is that strength real, or is it just a short burst before the crash? And if bananas, long considered a safe fruit, are quietly harming your legs, imagine what tiny grapes might be doing to your joints and feet. Let's take a closer look. 3. Grapes, small fruit, big consequences. Grapes might seem like the perfect snack, soft, sweet, and easy to enjoy by the handful. They're often praised for supporting heart health and are a common sight on kitchen counters and in refrigerators. But for older adults, these bite-sized fruits may be doing more harm than good, especially when it comes to leg strength and joint health. The issue isn't just that grapes are sweet, it's why they're sweet. Grapes are packed with fructose, a natural sugar that's processed not by your muscles or bloodstream, but by your liver. And for people over 60, this becomes a problem fast. The liver often converts fructose into fat and uric acid, and when uric acid accumulates, it has a nasty habit of settling right into your joints. Even small portions of grapes can trigger joint issues like gout, one of the most painful conditions affecting the feet and legs. It often starts quietly, with just a few grapes here and there. But then the symptoms arrive: swelling in the toes or ankles, burning sensations, and sudden pain that hits hardest when you're trying to rest. And for those not dealing with gout, the story doesn't get much better. High fructose fruits like grapes still stoke inflammation, and for a senior body already coping with wear and tear, that can mean persistent leg pain, sore knees, or stiffness that slows your movement day after day. Grapes are also deceivingly easy to overeat. You might snack on a few while watching TV, toss some into your breakfast, or keep nibbling as you walk by the fridge. It doesn't feel like much, but the sugar adds up, and so does the damage. The signs are subtle at first: legs that tire too quickly, joints that don't bend quite right, discomfort that seems to stick around longer than it used to. If such a small fruit can have such a noticeable effect, what about those that seem even more innocent? Like fruits that look refreshing and hydrating on the outside but hide even more sugar within? Let's take a closer look at watermelon. If you found this helpful so far, drop a 1 in the comments to let me know you're still with me. 4. Watermelon. Sweet, cool, and misleading. Few fruits bring back warm memories like watermelon. Summertime gatherings, childhood picnics, and the simple joy of a juicy slice on a hot day. It's easy to chew, high in water, and feels like the perfect fruit for older adults trying to stay hydrated. But behind its refreshing taste lies a fast-acting sugar punch that could be undermining your leg health without you even knowing. Watermelon has a remarkably high glycemic index, which means its sugar hits your bloodstream fast, spiking blood glucose levels almost immediately after eating. For seniors, especially those dealing with diabetes, prediabetes, or circulation problems, that's more than just a sugar rush. It's a cascade of inflammation, nerve irritation, and swelling, right in the legs, ankles, and knees. You might notice it after a meal. Your legs feel heavier, your walk feels slower, or your calves ache more than usual. It's easy to dismiss as aging, but more often it's the sugar working behind the scenes, inflaming your blood vessels and stressing your nerves. What's more, sugar spikes often cause the body to retain fluid. That fluid doesn't stay in the bloodstream. It travels to your soft tissues. Ankles puff up, knees feel stiff, your feet start to ache after a short stroll. Suddenly, stairs feel harder to climb, and standing too long makes your legs throb. And here's the twist: Watermelon doesn't taste overwhelmingly sweet. That's what makes it so tricky. It feels like a light, hydrating option, but inside your body, it behaves more like a dessert than a health food. For those over 60, whose systems are slower to process and recover from sugar, watermelon can accelerate the very decline in mobility you're trying to prevent. And if even watermelon, a fruit made mostly of water, can have this kind of impact, just imagine what happens when acidic fruits enter the picture, especially those that market themselves as immune-boosting powerhouses. The next fruit on the list may surprise you, and odds are, it's sitting in your kitchen right now. 5. Oranges. The acidic assault on Joynt's oranges have long been celebrated as a symbol of health, packed with vitamin C associated with cold prevention, and often recommended as part of a balanced diet. Many seniors begin their day with a glass of orange juice, believing they're doing something good for their bodies. But as comforting as this habit may feel, the truth is far more complicated and far more dangerous for aging legs and joints than most people realize. Behind the bright color and tangy taste, oranges carry a high concentration of citric acid, a compound that, in excess, can aggravate inflammation in the body, especially in the joints. For older adults who already live with arthritis, bursitis, or general joint sensitivity, this acid can act like sandpaper on already fragile cartilage. The result? A creeping stiffness in your knees when you wake up, a soreness in your hips that lingers throughout the day, that familiar feeling of your legs locking up after sitting too long. It's subtle until it's not. But acid isn't the only issue. Oranges, especially in the form of orange juice, are also high in natural sugars. When consumed frequently, these sugars begin to disrupt your body's insulin balance. This can lead to systemic inflammation, which doesn't just attack joints, it affects muscles, blood vessels, and connective tissues, particularly in the lower body. Over time, seniors may notice not only joint pain, but also reduced range of motion, swelling around the knees or ankles, and increasing instability when walking or standing. It's easy to think a fruit so fresh and familiar couldn't possibly be harmful. But the body in your 60s, 70s, and beyond doesn't recover like it once did. The same orange that once energized you might now be slowing you down. And if this common breakfast fruit is silently wearing down your joints, imagine what a deceptively healthy green apple could be doing, especially one that bites back harder than you think. 6. Green apples, a hidden source of leg pain. Green apples carry the image of purity and health. Their crisp texture and tart flavor often appeal to those looking for a cleaner fruit, something less sugary, something refreshing. For many seniors, a green apple a day feels like a smart, responsible choice, but few realize that beneath that bright skin lies a harsh combination of acidity and sugar that can quietly undermine the strength and comfort of your legs. What makes green apples particularly troubling is their high malic acid content, a natural compound that can be difficult for aging digestive systems to process. While malic acid is sometimes praised for energy support, in large or frequent amounts it may trigger inflammation, especially in those already managing arthritis or fibromyalgia. That inflammation doesn't just settle in the stomach, it can radiate to the hips, thighs, knees, and even down into the feet, creating aching, burning, or stiffness that feels like it's coming from within the muscles themselves. But it's not just the acid. Green apples also contain natural sugars. And for seniors with slower metabolism and reduced insulin sensitivity, even small amounts of sugar can lead to blood sugar swings. These fluctuations interfere with circulation and, over time, reduce oxygen flow to the legs. What you're left with is fatigue in the calves, a feeling of weakness when climbing stairs, or a deep ache after only short walks. And because green apples are often eaten raw, on an empty stomach, or as a snack, the effects can be even more intense. You may not link your daily apple to your nightly leg cramps or your morning stiffness, but when the body starts sending quiet signals, it's time to listen. Pain is never random. It's often a reaction to something we thought was safe. So if something as seemingly harmless as a green apple can stir up so much discomfort, wait until you hear about the tropical fruit that's been praised for its sweetness, yet quietly flooding your joints with sugar. 7. Mango, the sugar bomb for your joints. There's no denying the pleasure of a ripe mango. Its golden flesh, sweet fragrance, and creamy texture often brings back memories of warmer days and family gatherings. For many seniors, mango feels like a tropical escape, a treat to enjoy without guilt. But beneath that smooth sweetness lies one of the most concentrated sources of natural sugar in the fruit world. And for aging bodies, especially your legs and joints, that sweetness comes at a steep cost. One medium mango can contain upwards of 45 grams of sugar, more than a standard can of soda. This level of sugar causes your blood glucose to spike rapidly, and while your younger self may have handled it with ease, the senior body doesn't respond the same way. With age, insulin function slows, and sugar lingers in the bloodstream longer, leading to widespread inflammation, particularly in soft tissues like the knees, ankles, and hip joints. What follows is a creeping heaviness in the legs, an uncomfortable swelling around your feet, and a loss of muscular endurance that can leave you breathless after only short distances. Even more troubling, mango's sugar can aggravate nerve endings, especially in those with diabetes or early neuropathy. That burning sensation in your feet at night, the tingling in your toes. It may not be just old age. It might be that healthy fruit you had after dinner. And because mango feels light and fresh, it's easy to overeat without noticing. But your body keeps score, and your legs, the very limbs that carry your independence, are the first to suffer. So, before you reach for that next mango smoothie or tropical fruit bowl, ask yourself, is the sweetness worth the slow, steady damage it leaves behind? Because while these 7 fruits may surprise you, the real danger lies in how they add up over time, often without a single warning. But don't worry, you're not powerless. Let's now turn to the solution: the fruits that help rebuild leg strength, reduce inflammation, and support your mobility as you age. 8. What should seniors eat instead? When we discover that the fruits we trusted may have been silently working against us, it's natural to feel frustrated, even betrayed. But knowledge is power, and with it comes the opportunity to shift, to choose more wisely, and to give our bodies what they truly need in this sacred chapter of life. Because aging is not about giving up. It's about learning how to live better, with intention, clarity, and care. For seniors, especially those who feel the aches of time settling into their legs, the answer isn't to abandon fruit altogether. Instead, it's about choosing fruits that heal, not harm, ones that nourish without overwhelming your system, that support circulation, ease inflammation, and give you the strength to rise, to walk, to move with freedom once again. Start with berries, nature's true anti-inflammatory powerhouses. Blueberries, raspberries, and blackberries are rich in antioxidants, low in sugar, and gentle on your blood sugar. They work quietly in the background, protecting your cells, soothing inflamed joints, and boosting circulation, especially to the lower limbs. Cherries, in moderation, offer similar relief, especially for those battling gout or arthritis. Their compounds help lower uric acid and reduce flare-ups that can steal your mobility without warning. Then there's the quiet power of avocados, creamy, satisfying, and filled with healthy fats that cushion your joints and reduce internal swelling. Unlike sugary fruits, avocados help regulate insulin, keeping energy levels stable throughout the day. They don't spike you, they support you. Papaya, too, is a gentle ally. Its enzymes aid digestion, its vitamins ease inflammation, and its texture is easy on the aging digestive tract. For those who've grown weary of hard fruits and acidic bites, papaya offers calm, comfort, and strength. Even pears, when eaten in moderation and paired with protein or fiber, can offer gentle sweetness without the crash, supporting your body. not burdening it. At this stage of life, your food should work with you, not against you. Every bite is a choice toward strength or away from it, toward clearer mornings, easier steps, and the kind of peace that comes from knowing your body is being cared for, not just fed. And it all begins with the fruit you choose to keep and the ones you finally decide to let go. Final thoughts from one senior to another. As someone who has walked many miles through life, through hardship, through healing, through seasons of strength and seasons of pain, I want to speak to you now, not as a writer, but as a fellow traveler. Aging is not easy. No one prepares us for the quiet battles, the stiffness that creeps into your knees, the tired legs that ache after doing so little, the fear that someday you might not be able to move the way you once did. But if there's one thing age has taught me, it's this. We are never too old to choose differently, to choose better. We've all been told that fruit is good for us. We grew up with the food pyramid, with doctors and neighbors alike saying, "Eat your fruit, it keeps you healthy." And for the most part, that was true when we were young, when our bodies were faster, stronger, and more forgiving. But now, in our 60s, 70s, 80s, and yes, even in our 90s, our bodies speak more softly, and we must listen more closely. The 7 fruits we've explored today aren't bad in the way junk food is, but for us, aging legs, sensitive joints, and slower systems, they can quietly steal what matters most: our strength, our balance, our ability to walk without pain. And for seniors, walking is everything. It's independence, it's dignity, it's freedom. You don't have to overhaul your entire diet overnight, but you can begin gently to let go of what no longer serves you. Replace sweetness that inflames with nourishment that heals. Choose fruits that give energy without crashing your body. Pay attention to how you feel after you eat. Not just what tastes good in the moment, but what your legs, your back, your energy tell you an hour later. That awareness is wisdom. And at our age, wisdom is one of our greatest tools. If you're reading this and feeling a bit overwhelmed, take a breath. You haven't failed. You haven't done anything wrong. This is not about guilt. This is about gaining clarity, about taking small, powerful steps toward a stronger, steadier you. Your journey doesn't end because you're growing older. In many ways, this is where the most intentional, meaningful chapter begins. So, from one senior to another, I urge you, protect your legs, protect your health, and protect your future by being mindful of what you feed your body. You deserve to move with ease. You deserve mornings without pain. You deserve to enjoy the years ahead, walking, standing tall, and doing so with grace. Because it's not just about living longer, it's about living stronger. And that choice begins today, with every single bite. These lessons are meant to inspire you to live fully and authentically. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Take a moment to reflect and share one thing you've learned and plan to apply in your own life. Let's support each other on this journey toward embracing these truths. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment with 1. If not, feel free to comment with 0. Your feedback means a lot to us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content like this. Thank you for watching, and here's to living life on your own terms.